Good evening to all of you. My name is Joe Teresi, and I'm honored tonight to be the Master of Ceremonies for this very auspicious occasion, at which time we're going to be honoring the 2019 Millbrae Man, Woman, and Student of the Year. So I am like super excited to be here. Who's excited to be here? Everyone excited? Yeah. This is like, you know, they call the World Series the Fall Classic, right? But I think we should change that. We should make this the Fall Classic here in Millbrae, right? It's the thing everyone looks forward to every year in the fall, the time to come together and honor those of us who excel at volunteering and being a part of our wonderful community. So in thinking about this event, you know, what comes to my mind is three concepts. One is community service, one is selflessness, and one is connectivity. You know, the people that we're honoring this evening are the epitome of service to the community. You know, they've done so many things in their lives to make Millbrae a better place, to help their fellow man. It's very inspirational to all of us to have them as part of us. And I would certainly say that they're selfless in the extreme, always thinking about others, trying to make others happy, trying to meet the needs that are unmet in the community, trying to do those things that make us all better. And the connectivity part is the fact that when I look out at the group, there's so many different intertwinings of groups of people that are in similar organizations, know each other in multiple places. We all sort of are weaved together into a family of Millbrae that is what makes us, even though we live in a huge metropolitan area, we still have somewhat of a sense of being a small town. And that's due to the efforts of people like all of you who work together as volunteers to make things better. So very happy that you're all here this evening. The one thing, too, that I think is very special about this particular event is that sometimes you go to events and you're honoring somebody sort of at the end of their life when you're honoring their legacy of all the things they've done. But the people we're honoring here and the people in the room are people that are still active, vibrant volunteers that are just in the middle of what they're going to be achieving in their lives. So I think so, yeah. So I think, again, very special. This by far it like blows away the record. This is like about 50 more people than we've ever had. So I think that says a lot about the quality of the honorees that so many people want to come and honor them. I apologize to those of you that are over there. Hopefully you can still see me over here and hear me, but oh, good, they're waving. That's good. Okay. When it comes time to do some of the visual stuff, you might want to just come into the room and stand if you would feel comfortable so you could see better. We just we're overwhelmed by how many people came tonight. And I'm also, although I see a lot of familiar faces, I'm very much thinking that there's a lot of people that have never come to this before. So how many people, this is our first of Man, Woman, and Student of the Year event. How many people? Oh, see, look at all those. Wow, that's great. Well, this is an annual event, so you're welcome back next year, too. So keep that in mind. It's always the third Friday in October. So, all right. So I hope everyone feels welcome. We'll take care initially of a few housekeeping rules. You probably know, but the restrooms are out there through the foyer. So if you need to use those, feel free. Now, every year so far, in the last few years, someone's phone always goes off. So I'm going to ask all of you to reach into your pockets and make sure your phones are silent. And secondarily, later on, we're going to have an audience participation segment of the program. So if you don't know how to use the flashlight on your phone, I want you to talk to your neighbor during dinner and figure out how to turn on the flashlight that you all have on your smartphone. So some of you might not have used it before, but it's a great tool, actually, if you're ever in the dark or something. So as we're going through dinner, ask your neighbor if you don't know how to turn on, because later on there's going to be some audience participation. All right. At this time, I'd like us all to stand and honor our country with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So again, this year is the 47th annual Man, Woman, and Student of the Year event. So doing the math quickly, that means that there's been over 90 people in the past that have been honored with this special honor. And many of you are here tonight and will be introduced later. But this year, we're proud to add to that legacy with 3 new honorees, starting with our Student of the Year, Desiree Lin. Let's have a round of applause for Desiree. One thing I have to mention about Desiree is she is actually a recent high school graduate, and she's in college, and the timing couldn't be worse. She's down at UC Riverside, and she's about to have her first exams. So she's actually not able to be with us this evening, but she's written, you'll have the video about Desiree, and of course her family's here, and her brother Derek has been honored with making the speech for her. So he will be her stand-in, and we wish her well down at, she's at UC Riverside, and even though it's a Friday night, she's probably hard at looking at the books, right? well, at least that's what we've been told. So, moving along, our 2019 Millbrae Woman of the Year is none other than Karen Bettucchi. Whoa. And last but not least, our 2019 Millbrae Man of the Year is Paul Larson. Woo. All right. A great group this year. So I was doing some more thinking. I did a lot of thinking this week about this. So I was thinking about, what makes this year unique? Because, we've been doing this for 47 years, so some might think it's getting routine, but it's far from routine. This is a very special year. And the thing that I thought about was that we're to the point where this has been going on long enough where we really bridged over several generations, right? I mean, 50 years, it's a whole generation. So at the one extreme, we have a recent high school graduate, a college freshman, who's just beginning her volunteer career. And already she's done so many wonderful things. It's really quite inspirational to see what she's done. And even though she's not here, I told her mom and dad that this is being videotaped, and so she'll be able to watch it later. So hopefully watching it again will just re-inspire her and reinvigorate her to keep on volunteering as she moves along and becomes an adult and a member of society, or an older member of society, shall we say. So that's where we start. Then we have Karen. Now she's got to be at least 25 years younger than anybody else that's ever been honored in this way. And in fact, she's the only person that I can think of that was born after the inception of the Man, Woman, and Student of the Year. So, I mean, it's really something that she's achieved this so young in her life. And then there's Paul. Well, he's no spring chicken or anything, but I think we'd all agree that Paul's young at heart, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all right. But Paul actually also has a kind of a unique role here because both he and together with his father have been honored to actually be part of the laying to rest and celebration of life of many of the past people that have been honored. So again, we span the generations here. From the young to the old to the heavenly, I guess you'd say. So I think, again, we've gotten to the point where we can call ourselves the Fall Classic. So let's do that. Now, on a more somber note, I'd like you to join me for a moment in a moment of silence in honor of Eugene Kirkbride, the beloved husband of the 2007 Woman of the Year, Anne Kirkbride, who passed away earlier this year. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you. All right, so it's time to get ready for our wonderful meal. I hope you all chose the right entree. If you didn't, it's too late to change. So you're gonna, but everything's good here, so you're gonna love it. But before we start that, I would like to call up to the podium Pastor John Wu, who's here with us today from the Millbrae Bible Church, who's going to give the invocation.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Well, this is my first man-woman student of the year, so this is great. So thank you for having us here tonight. It's a privilege to be a part of this, to be a part of the Millbrae community. And so can we pray together and ask God's blessing on tonight? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a moment like this, an evening like this, where we can gather together as a community, put aside our differences and realize that we have a heart that's knit together to see people's lives changed and enriched for good. So we thank you for these people that we can honor tonight. We thank you for Desiree. We thank you for Karen. We thank you for Paul and what you have instilled in their hearts to give to the community. And not only to our local community, but to the global community and how they've impacted so many other people. We pray that we too will be able to see those examples and ignite our hearts to step into new ways, to lift our neighbors, to lift this community into something that is such a gift to those communities around us. So we ask for just your blessing on tonight. We ask for just a continued utilization of the gifts that we've all been given to bless and to see and to reach out to those that are around us. We thank you for all that are serving. We ask for your blessing on those that have tirelessly given of their lives to make this area a better place. We ask that you enrich them, encourage them, bless them and their homes and their families. We ask for your hand tonight just to enjoy what you have given to us, to celebrate these times, but to look forward to what you have in store for a greater tomorrow as well. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, thank you so much, Pastor Wu, for those inspiring words. And now the dinner service will begin. I'll be back in about maybe 45 minutes. And in the meantime, don't forget, you need to know how to use your flashlight. Okay, I'm going to start out by introducing some of the dignitaries that are here with us this evening, starting with our very special head table right here, table number 3. So at table number 3, first of all, we have Mayor Wayne Lee here. The Mayor's Civic Coordinating Council is one of the co-sponsors of this event, and he's here with his guest, Jojo Zhao. We also have Lorianne Richardson, President and CEO of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. We have Mary Vella Treseler and her daughter, Adana Amoroso, who is retired as a deputy police chief for the city of San Jose. Mary is the chair of the committee that puts on this wonderful event. Thank you, Mary. Next, we have my wife, Sherry, who's here. Yay, Sherry. And then, of course, you met Pastor John Wu and his wife, Cynthia. And lastly, we have Kendra Zion, who's been working with Karen on the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life over the years. All right, so now there's many officials here that I'm going to go around the table and going to introduce you and ask you to give me your best royal wave. So I already introduced the mayor. Also here, the rest of the city council is here this evening, starting off with Vice Mayor Ruben Holliber, I think we're in the side room over there, as well as council members. Ooh, getting rowdy over there. As well as council members Ann Schneider, Annie Oliva, and who am I forgetting? Gina Pappin. Sorry, Gina. There she is over there. In addition, we're honored with the attendance by many former mayors of the city of Millbrae, starting off with Marge Colapietro, Mark Church, who was also the county's chief elections officer, Janet Fogarty, Lou Grassberger, Robert Gottschalk, Doris Morse, Paul Cito, and Dan Quigg. Here from the city of Millbrae, we have our city manager, Tom Williams. He's over here on the side. From the Office of State Assemblyman, Assemblyman Kevin Mullen, from his office, Kevin Fong. From the Office of San Mateo County Supervisor Dave Pine, we have his legislative aide, Randy Torrijos. And from the Office of State Senator Jerry Hill, his assistant, Elmer Martinez. Going to the world of education, we have from the San Mateo County Community College District, Trustee Richard Holliber. Moving to the elementary school district, we have our wonderful Board of Trustees, starting with President Lynn Ferrario, Vice President Maggie Musa, and Trustees Frank Barbaro, Dennis Fema, and Don Ravello. From the elementary school district staff, we have Claire Beltrami, Tara Keith, and Superintendent Von Fapersert. We have a couple of principals here from Mills High School, Pam Dusinski. And from Taylor Middle School, Mark Zadar. We have the Consulate of Malta, Louis Vella, here in our presence. And I think that's everybody. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry, but you're all very important. All right. Now we would want to, we talked about the fact that, over the years we've honored a whole number of people over the last 47 years, so there's quite a number of us here. I think there's 25 of the past honorees are present here today, so I'm going to introduce them to you. These are former men and women of the year. And we're going to start off with 2018 Man of the Year, Stephen Luceich, and Woman of the Year, Deirdre Gladwin. From 2017, Woman of the Year is Debbie Van Wert. 2016, Man of the Year, Calvin Chin, and Woman of the Year, Doris Morse. From 2015, we have Man Ron Frediani and Kathleen Kimura. 2014, we honored Dennis Fema and Gaetan Andrews. In 2013, we honored Joe Teresi and Janet Fogarty. 2012, the Man of the Year was John Muniz. Oh! 2011 was Dan Quigg. 2010, Man of the Year was Alan Kurth, along with Woman of the Year, Faye Dottie. 2008, Woman of the Year, Kathy Quigg. 2007, Woman of the Year, Anne Kirkbride. 2004, Woman of the Year was Randy Sahai. 2002, Man of the Year, Tom Dottie. Woman of the Year, Helen Habib. 2001, Woman of the Year, Marge Colapietro. And 1999, before the turn of the century, Woman of the Year was Mary Vella Treseler. So, what's that? Who did I forget? Oh, yes. We cannot forget, we have in our presence a former Man of the Year who happens to be celebrating this very evening his 102nd birthday. Let's hear it for Mr. George Habib. Now everyone, please join me in singing happy birthday to George. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you. Hey! George Habib, the world's sexiest centenarian. Yes. I mentioned it. Yeah. All right. So you're seated amongst royalty. What can I say? All right. I wanted to announce to those Men and Women of the Year honorees from the past that the floral centerpieces that are at the tables are yours to keep. And all you need to do is look at the table and find the little name card that's got your name. Please don't steal anyone else's flowers. But you're welcome to take the flowers as our sign of appreciation for your many years of service and volunteerism. In addition, there are some other items at the table that you should not take. For example, do not take the mirror, do not take the candles. Simply take the flowers and the vase in which they are contained. Thank you. All right. So this event, it doesn't happen by itself, right? There is a committee of folks that work throughout the year to prepare for this, to find the nominees, to select the nominees. Although I must say, we don't select the nominees ourselves. They are selected by an independent group of judges that lives in Massachusetts. Why, you say? Because that way we know it's totally unbiased and unaffected by politics or any other, it's all on the up and up, and people are selected solely on their merit, and we're very proud of that. So I'm going to introduce the men and women of the organizing committee for the Man, Woman, and Student of the Year event. Our chairperson, as I mentioned before, is Mary Vella Treseler. And working alongside here is her committee consisting of Pat Crilly, John Muniz, Kathy Quigg, Dan Quigg, Lorianne Richardson, Frank Saboti, and myself, Joe Teresi. So thank you to the group. I think we do a pretty good job of having a fun and festive event. Now, I understand at this time that Mayor Wayne Lee would like to make a commendation to our committee for its great work.
Thank you, Joe. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Could I have all the members in the committee come up, please?
You know who you are.
And then Councilwoman Schneider will bring the commendations. And I'd like to give a shout out to Councilwoman Schneider because today we were at Long Beach representing the city of Millbrae at the League of Cities, which is a convention for all the mayors and council members and city managers in the state, it's California. And we had to make a vote, and because I wanted to make sure I was here on time, Anne went and voted for me, and she just ran from the airport straight here. So thank you, Anne. Thank you for doing that. So Anne's going to bring the proclamations up. So I want to just say that, you know, all through the years, we've done this, and this is a very special occasion. This is like it's kind of like Millbrae's prom. So, and we never really, we rarely gave any recognition to the people who actually put on this fabulous event. So this council wanted to make sure that we actually show our appreciation. And these people have done it for years. It's not just this year, but they've done it years and years and years and years. So we just want to make sure that you get your proper recognitions. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you help me? Can you come up? Can you want to come up?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Look at that.
Where's Dan?
Where's Dan?
He's being bashful. Oh my God. This is not a union break, all right?
It's beautiful. Look at that. You get $20 on eBay for this.
There you go. Gotta keep you on vacations.
That's right.
Can we give them a round of applause? Okay. Where's the council? The council has come up and take pictures real quick. Come on, council, hurry, please. Okay, I just want to say one other thing. Okay, so for many, many years, this is Joe's first time doing MC. Do you think he's doing a great job? He's doing a great job? Yes. So usually it's Mary. Mary usually does the MC, but she's been doing this so many years, her voice ran out, so that's why she's not up here. Council, come on, hurry up. We don't want to hold the show up.
How are you?
Who are we missing? We got everybody? Okay, good.
Annie
All right.
was here. Was she not? I saw her.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know if this works.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
Put it close to your mouth.
Thank you so much, and it's really been a pleasure doing this. It's been so much fun honoring all these wonderful people. So thank you for coming.
I don't know if I can talk, but I just want to say I'm very honored and humbled to receive these commendations from Mayor Lee. Very thoughtful. We appreciate it, and we'll keep on rolling.
Well, Mary just said that she's very honored and humbled to receive these commendations, and we'll keep on rolling, she said.
All right. I promised the audience participation segment of our show. Here it comes. So, if I could please have the lights dimmed. I'm going to start here. What I'm going to do here, as I said before, it's so impressive that there's such a quilt of different people from different groups that make up this room and make up this community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out hopefully catch all of the major community organizations. And when I announce your group, I want you to stand up, turn on your flashlight, and we're going to do one of these kind of things. All right? So let's start with and we have some musical accompaniment here that should be coming on any moment. We start out with the Rotary Club of Millbrae. Stand up, please. What about the Millbrae Lions Club? How about all you folks from the Millbrae Community Foundation? I know there's people here from the Millbrae Historical Society. And there's got to be folks here from the Millbrae Education Foundation. Who are the representatives of the Peninsula Chinese Business Association? What about the Millbrae Cultural Committee? Oh, there's got to be more than this. Where's all the flashlights? I looked up and I thought I'd see a sea of light. What about the Italian Catholic Federation? Or what about the Maltese Cross Foundation? Relay for Life. The Italian American Citizens Club. The Native Sons of the Golden West. The Millbrae CERT team. The Friends of the Millbrae Library. All you members of City of Millbrae committees and commissions. Public service workers from the school district or the city. Oh, I'm disappointed. I thought there would be a sea of flashlights. Well, this table has a spirit. I'll go over here, yeah. These guys know how it's done. Anyway, thank you all for doing what you do. And as the song says, we all get by with a little help from our friends. So working together, we can light up the world. That was supposed to happen, but anyway. All right. Hey, I gave you a warning. All right. We can put the lights back on now, please. All right. Now we get to the part of the program where we really are here, and that is to honor the Student Man and Woman of the Year. So those honorees are going to be introduced by Mayor Lee, but to introduce the mayor, allow me to introduce to you Lorianne Richardson. She was born in San Francisco and raised in Millbrae together with her two brothers. She raised her children in Millbrae and worked as a classroom volunteer and as a member of the Meadows School PTA, and also volunteered at Taylor Middle School and Mills High School. She was co-leader of her daughter's Girl Scout troop and volunteered as a team manager for her children's AYSO soccer. So, again, another great volunteer here in Millbrae. She's worked with the Millbrae community for nearly 18 years, starting at MCTV and then going to the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, where she's been the president and CEO of the chamber since 2015. Please help me in welcoming Lorianne Richardson.
Okay, thank you, Joe. And is this one working? This one working? Okay. Bear with me. I spilled water on my paper, so I'll try to get the words right. So Mayor Wayne Lee and his family have lived in Millbrae for over 30 years now. Wayne served for 6 years on the Millbrae Planning Commission before being elected to the Millbrae City Council in 2011, serving his first term as mayor in 2014 and winning re-election in 2015. Wayne graduated from City College of San Francisco and achieved his degree in chemical engineering from UC Berkeley. His career as a chemical engineer emphasized environmental stewardship, including over 20 years as a senior air quality inspector for the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. Throughout his career, though, Wayne remained very involved in our community. volunteering as a soccer coach, PTA president, founding president of the Millbrae Education Foundation, and of course the Millbrae Lions Club. And as mayor, Wayne also serves on many, many county and regional committees. Please welcome the mayor of Millbrae, the Honorable Wayne J. Lee.
Thank you, Lorianne. This is quite an honor for all of us electeds to be here, and for us to participate and honor all of you. Let me just say that one of the things that makes Millbrae special is every one of you. Is what you do. It's every day. When you see something going on that you can do to like pick up trash or help somebody cross the street, pick up somebody who's fallen, or just give directions. You're doing something that makes Millbrae special. Because people say, oh, I went to Millbrae, that's a friendly place. The kids are great, the grass is green, and people smile. Isn't that wonderful? So the thing is that my point is that everybody contributes. And if you heard the list of volunteer groups, and many of you have multiple groups, especially John Muniz, by the way. I don't know how he sleeps, how he even gets to sleep. But I just want to, you make a difference. And that's what makes us very special. And I think we all deserve a round of applause. But what makes these people special? It makes them special because they've been doing things that for many years. They didn't do just one thing that just made them stand out, but they're doing many things that made them stand out. And I think we can say that for many of us. But these people actually took the extra step and the extra mile. And for my sake, Karen, I know for a long time, she has a family she's raising, 4 kids, and yet and that's the big job, right? And Paul here, he's always taking selfies, so he's busy taking selfies. And you know, our high school kids, they're always, I mean, high school kids are just amazing now. They're like doing 5 different things all before they even go to bed. And they go to bed like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and they still have to wake up at 7 in the morning. And my son, he's doing jazz in the morning. So, oh, by the way, before I remiss, I have to introduce my family, otherwise I'm going to get a talking to. My mother, Mimi, my sister, Lita, and my beautiful son, Nicholas. I'm not going to make the mistake of other electeds. So. Anyway, so I also want to say that together you make the difference. And the fact that you're here for the Millbrae Prom, that we make a difference. And this comes from my heart, because I didn't prepare anything, because this just comes from my heart. I know, and I'm surprised that I haven't put my foot in my mouth yet, so that's really good. So thank you for that. And one PSA message I have to say, though, that's really important, and it's kind of off track, but the census is coming up, and the census means a lot of money for our cities, our schools, for our parks, for our streets, and special services. So it's really important that if you know somebody, that you make sure that they register, because it's going to be online this year. It's not as like at last year's, and there is no citizen question on there. So, and a lot of people are not going to report. So what do you mean? That's what's the big deal? Well, Millbrae is kind of challenged in that way, because there's a lot of different speakers in Millbrae, and if we don't get those people counted, we lose money. And that money goes to special services, goes for our roads, goes to our schools, goes to everything. So I just want to encourage you. I don't want me to put downer, but because we're all here and we're all engaged in our community, that's something I'd really like you to think about. Okay, so moving on to the more important things and the more celebratory things. I'd like to first introduce, we've already announced the winner, so we have a video from Desiree Lin that's going to be shown, and they were going to show videos, and then we're going to have they're going to come invite to speak, and then after they all done their speak, talk about themselves, we're going to all do presentations at the end. That's the order. So if we can start off with Desiree Lee, thank you.
I've lived in Millbrae for about 7 years now. I actually lived in Daly City for about 10 years beforehand, and that was my childhood home, but by the time it was around middle school, my family decided to find a better, more well-suited middle school for me, and we ended up in Millbrae. Coming into a new middle school, I was so nervous. My elementary school consisted of about 100 kids. I was 5 there's only 5 kids in the 5th grade, and I was one of the graduating kids. So going into a school with about 900 kids was terrifying for me, but I surprisingly made friends really easily because there are other kids who are in the same boat as me. I love Millbrae so much. Oh my gosh. One thing, the sun. In Daly City, we didn't have much sun, so that was really great. And just walking around Millbrae, you see everyone, and they know each other. And in Daly City, I didn't really get that vibe. I only knew the neighbors next to me, and that's pretty much it. But in Millbrae, you see like people walking around, and you go, hey, like, how was this and how was that? And it's just a really warm atmosphere. I am involved with my school's leadership team. I am also involved with the Millbrae Leos Club, Most Peninsula Youth Volunteer Services, and the Interact Club. I chose these particular activities just because of the atmosphere the people involved with it created. As, for example, with leadership, I just saw them around school. They're really pumped up. They really got everyone involved with school activities, and I wanted to do that too. And I remember meeting a few leadership students. I didn't know them at all, but they saw that I was new, and they talked to me, and they kind of talked to me to get me feel more welcomed into the community, and I've never felt that way before in a new school. So I wanted to do the same for new students, and just, yeah. And for the Millbrae Leos and Interact, same thing. I was walking around with my family one day, and I noticed these kids wearing these bright blue shirts, and I thought, like, wow, they're doing something great for the community, and I thought it'd be a great way to meet new friends and meet new people, and I really did. And with Interact, I was in line one day, like as a freshman. I was new to the school, and this girl came up to me, and she was like, hey, like, how do you like the school so far? She really made me feel welcome. And then she invited me to her club meeting, and it was such a fun meeting. I have really great memories of Art and Wine and Relay for Life because you really interact with the rest of the community for those events, and I've never interacted with the community in Daly City like that, and just being able to interact with them was really amazing. Getting to know each person I talked to, who I sold water to, it was really great. I believe that it's important to volunteer your time because sometimes the littlest things that people do for you, it really makes an impact, and when you feel that really great warm feeling, you want to give it back. And I think that by volunteering, it's a great way to do that. Lion John Muniz nominated me for this award. I think he nominated me for this award because he just really saw the effort I put back into my community and just wanted me to recognize that and everyone else to recognize that. I found out that I was a recipient for this award, I believe on August 14th. I was out with my friends, we were getting dinner, and all of a sudden in the restaurant it was really loud, so I couldn't hear anything, and my friend goes, oh, hey, you have a phone call. So I pick up, and I don't hear anyone, I just hear someone say, Desiree, Desiree, and I'm like, this is kind of strange. Maybe my phone is bad, like the reception is terrible, maybe because I just can't hear in the restaurant. And then as I'm driving home, my friend picks up the phone for me again, and my advisor, Lion John, goes, hey! I'm like, oh my gosh, hi! And he's like, did you know that you won the award? And I was like, I did not know, and I started crying in the car while I was driving because I was nominated last year and I didn't get the award, but he told me again that I got the award this year. It's such an honor knowing the past recipients. They're both personally my friends, my really good friends, and just knowing that I'm in there with them, like doing amazing things and being recognized for it, it feels really great. Some challenges that I faced were mental health challenges during my junior year. Obviously, there's that, it's really well known that, oh, your junior and senior year, they're your hardest, but I didn't expect it to be that hard. With my workload, my commitments to my extracurriculars, and my academics, I wasn't in the best mindset, but my parents never put any pressure on me, which I was really appreciative of, but they always kind of guided me, so I kind of took that guidance. I was harsher on myself than my parents were on me, so I was really harsh on myself, and I think I just held myself to really high standards, and it wasn't healthy for my mindset. So I didn't really reach out for help until the end of junior year, where I started talking to the school's student safety advocate, who taught me how to balance my life. The big takeaways I learned from that experience is that you're not obligated to do everything. Just because you're involved with this and that, it doesn't mean you always have to do stuff for them. It's always important to have time for yourself. And I found that it was really important to have time for myself and my friends and my family, because if you're spreading yourself out too thin, you're not going to enjoy your involvements eventually. Some of my biggest support systems in Millbrae have been my parents, obviously. If they haven't decided to move to Millbrae, I wouldn't be involved with this great community. Obviously, my younger brother, he makes me want to be a better person. It just set a great example for him. And a lot of my friends at school, there's too many to name, but they've really helped me become the person I am today. And also some teachers like Miss Dove, Mr. Wang, and Miss Sophia, who is our student safety advocate. They taught me a lot about finding myself and just being true to who I am. For the next steps in my life, I hope to obtain a BS in biochemistry. I really like the nitty-gritty of biology and chemistry combined, and hopefully I go to medical school. I'm set on becoming an anesthesiologist right now, but I just want to be in the medical field. I'm not sure what, but I just love helping people. So to me, receiving this award means the world to me. Just knowing that someone is there watching how you help out the community touches my heart so much. It's so warming. Sometimes you feel like your actions go unrecognized, and I'm not saying that they need to be recognized every single time, but when you are recognized, it feels so great, just knowing that you're making a positive impact on your community. I hope that everyone in general just becomes more aware of their surrounding and their world, because our world is going through some massive changes, and one problem is that we're not aware of the problems that are going on. And I also hope that kids, even though it's really hard nowadays with all the peer pressure and competition to get into top schools, I hope you do what you want to do and that you're doing it for yourself, not because you want to beat your classmate, not because you want to be the best, but just for yourself.
Oh, that's very nice. As we mentioned, Desiree couldn't make it, but I just want to introduce the proud parents, David and Janice Lin. And here to accept the recognition is her younger brother, just Derek Lin. Is that right? Come on, Derek. Come on up. So no pressure. You're her inspiration. So.
All right. These words are straight from my sister's words. She says, "It's such an honor receiving this award, even though I am physically not present tonight. But in my spirits, I am. And I'm beyond humbled to have received this award with the most compassionate individuals of our community. I know the things that I have accomplished may not seem much, but it truly means the world to me that having someone to be able to recognize my passion for the service, and it's great. It touches my heart knowing that I have impacted people's lives that I've interacted with through service. I'm also grateful for each individual experience. I would like to thank my parents for creating a safe and nurturing environment for me to pursue my passions fearlessly. I would like to thank Lion John for being an amazing advisor. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be the leader I am today. Oh, there's more. Okay. I would like to thank Christine Baltasar and especially Alan Kurth for always pushing me to think outside of the box and to lead by example. I would like to thank my bestest friends. They're all scattered around the country from Illinois to Arizona to Davis, but they're always in my heart. To my friend Tiffany, who is with us right now, thank you for being my rock. You are the most genuinely kind soul that I know, and I wish you the bestest of luck during your senior year. And of course, to my brother, that's me, who's currently reading the speech right now. These people in my life give me hope that there's really pure goodness in the world. This hope is what keeps me going. Thank you.
So now you know why we're inspired. You know, when adults mess up the world, the young people are gonna fix it, right? That's right. So okay, so the next person is that you all very much known, Karen Bettucchi. I have to tell you a little personal story because the first time I met Karen, she was pregnant, and she came in, and she was young, and it was an MEF meeting. Millbrae Education Foundation, and sorry, Karen. Millbrae Education Foundation meeting, and she comes in and she goes, I want to do something, and we're going like, great, awesome, we got to volunteer, because we were really small. We were a small band of brothers and with your sisters, and we were just starting off, and she didn't know what we do, and she didn't know what we did, but she came in with lots of enthusiasm, and she came in and said, I can do this, this, and oh, this is awesome. So and then after that, when after a lot of us left, she picked up the reins. And she didn't just pick up the reins. She picked up the reins and built a car. So she brought more volunteers in. She trained new people, and she just did a fabulous job. But that wasn't even just the beginning. Later on, I found out that she's teaching at St. Dunstan's music, and she's doing all this other stuff while raising 4 kids. 3 kids. Oh, sorry.
Growing up in Millbrae and living in Millbrae most of my life, Millbrae has really become part of who I am.
I was born in San Francisco, and my parents moved to Millbrae about 3 months before I was born. So, born and raised. I went to St. Dunstan's school, and then in 5th grade, I went to Meadows, where I graduated, then to Taylor Middle School, Mills High School. Growing up here in Millbrae was wonderful. I have a lot of family in the area, so we grew up together, going to school, participating in sports, some of the school sports, Lions softball. And then I also ended up my first job, my first volunteer work, and then also a job was with the Millbrae Recreation Center. I taught swimming lessons and lifeguarded for the aquatics program. Also been part of St. Dunstan's Church. Really just enjoy the community. It's a great place to grow up. And as a parent now, I feel the same. I'm just feel so lucky for my kids to be in such great schools with such great teachers, such great community organizations that help to keep the school strong. In 2009, when my daughter entered the district, I became aware that there had been cuts in education, budget cuts. They had just announced that they would be expanding the number of students that would be in grades K through 2, and started realizing that other things had been cut. There wasn't music in the elementary schools, there was no technology education, the libraries were closed, not as much opportunity for arts. And that was concerning to me because these great schools that I loved growing up, and they still had amazing teachers, but it was disheartening to know that maybe here we were, years later, and my daughter and my sons wouldn't have access to those, as well as all the other children in Millbrae. So that's when I learned about the Millbrae Education Foundation. So it was really appealing to me to become involved and really see what we could do to strengthen this organization that I saw as a great opportunity to restore these programs and opportunities for the children in Millbrae. I love music. Music is, for me, and I think for many, a way to really express yourself and also to find a sense of belonging. Whether it's music or sports, I think it's important for kids to have that opportunity at a young age to find something that they're good at, something that they share an interest in. And so that's also been not only part of the volunteer work that I do, but one of the main fundraising areas of the Millbrae Education Foundation. And so we've really been able to bring music back to the elementary schools, expand it at Taylor Middle School. It's really a joy to see the kids get excited about that. So for almost 20 years, I've worked with my good friend and former piano teacher, Cindy Bruni, at St. Dunstan's Church, leading a children's choir. She directs an adult choir, which I also was a part of. And I'm always drawn to kids, and I know how much I enjoyed singing as a kid, and so we started a children's choir. They sing once a month on Sunday, and also they were very well known for singing for Christmas Eve, and it's just been a highlight. It's something that now my kids are enjoying and part of. It's really great to see how much the kids enjoy it. And we also have been for the last few years at the tree lighting at Millbrae, which is a really great experience that they enjoy as well. I've also been involved, also for probably the same amount of time, in the Italian American Citizens Club, where I held a few different positions over the years, but since about 2005 I've been the scholarship committee chair. Also, again, something I really believe in is giving back to high school seniors and helping them out with their college expenses. I'm always amazed at the quality of their applications and how smart they are and how dedicated they are. And with the Maltese Cross Foundation, throughout the years as a teenager, I did a lot of different volunteer working again with kids at the picnics and things like that. But in the last few years, also leading a choir that sings at some of the masses and events in Maltese and English. So that's been really fun as well, especially since my family is from Malta. And it's we're very proud of our heritage and culture and keeping it alive. As part of the Peninsula Healthcare District Community Investment Committee, I'm honored to be part of an excellent group. They have a lot of background from, some of them are doctors, some of them have worked for various nonprofits in the community, so I was really honored to be asked to be part of the community. And we review the applications and submissions for grants that are submitted to the Peninsula Healthcare Committee, and we make recommendations based upon different needs and different criteria. We make recommendations to the board on which organizations we feel need the most support. And then currently, I've been serving for the last few years as the VP of the Mills PTO. It's a very dynamic and fun group to be a part of. Learning a lot. It's really neat to be back at the high school that I graduated from. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but I think it was. And you know, just really being able to make an impact on the high school as well.
Volunteering and giving back to the community is so important to me. I've been lucky enough growing up having such wonderful role models and family and community organizations that have been part of my life from the beginning. Really just modeling generosity, compassion, and doing all that we can to help others.
Relay for Life, an amazing organization that I've felt very connected to from the beginning. My son Gianluca is a cancer survivor. When he was 2, we found out that he was diagnosed with cancer, and we went through a year of chemo and a lot of things, and we were just so blessed that he's now approaching his 10 years cancer-free, so it's very exciting. When we were just finished with his treatment, I actually learned that Millbrae was hosting a Relay for Life, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I'd been looking for a way, how can we give back? How can we make sure that others have the same great outcome? And maybe we wouldn't need to do Relay one day because we'd have cures, right? So I got involved first as a team captain, and we created Team Gianluca. And then in my second year, I was really interested in becoming more involved. I took the role of Survivor Chair. It's a really fun role where we can give back to survivors and celebrate them in the community. And we started that year a pre-event for the Relay, which is our Survivor Brunch. And we really created a special brunch, free for survivors, bring them into the community, provide them, you know, with something extra special that was just for them. After that, the following few years, I ended up taking a leadership role, following in great footsteps, just really inspiring and being able to see we could, you know, grow that event and raise around $60,000 towards cancer research and support. So I was nominated by Joe Teresi. I've worked with Joe for many years in Relay for Life, and also gotten to know him in so many other ways that he's involved in the community. I'm extremely honored that he nominated me, especially given all the work that he does. When I found out, I was actually at Cafe Roma with my husband and kids, and we were just having a refreshment, and I got the call. Was very surprised, humbled, honored, and it meant extra knowing that it was Joe who nominated me for the honor.
What's really unique about Millbrae as a community is that we have so many passionate people and amazing organizations that are so active and care so much about the community. Not only that, but we come together and we work together, whether it's championing cancer survivors and raising money to fight back against cancer, whether it's to ensure the best education for our students. Every organization comes together and does their part to really not only make Millbrae a better place, but to improve lives even beyond Millbrae.
So we have gone through losses in our family, and then also through a positive outcome with my son, Gianluca. And I think when you go through those experiences, it's hard to think that there could be something positive that could come from it. You know, when you're in the middle of it, it seems so hard, it seems so terrible. But something that amazes me is that you realize how much support you have around you. And the way that not only like me and my husband came closer together, my family, friends, the community, it was just so touching and so important. It was really what kept us going through those challenges, that I just can't help but want to provide the same for others.
Get all those people who supported her through the years, her family and her friends, to stand up, please, to be recognized. It really does take a village, doesn't it? Thank you. Congratulations. Mother of three.
Hello, everybody. I am, as I mentioned in the video, I'm deeply touched and deeply humbled by this honor and recognition. I also want to congratulate Paul and Desiree. Congratulations. And thank you both for giving so much of yourselves to others in our community as well. And thank you to the Millbrae Mayor's Civic Coordinating Council and the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce and all of you here tonight for recognizing dedicated volunteers each year. It's important to remind each one of us of the positive impact we can make while inspiring others to continue the important work that we've started. Having grown up in Millbrae and lived here most of my life, as I mentioned in the video, Millbrae is more than my community, it's part of who I am. I was given, taught, and inspired by love and generosity from the beginning. I've learned that if we do what we do from the heart, unconditionally and without judgment, it will create a chain of reaction of compassion and generosity that will benefit and help others. The smiles sparked by hearing the children's choir or our Maltese Cross Foundation choir sing in Maltese, my son thriving along with so many other survivors at Relay for Life, and the hope of a future cure that maybe we one day won't need Relay for Life at all, and knowing we have more equitable, accessible healthcare in San Mateo with the Peninsula Healthcare District, seeing Millbrae students experiencing music, learning technology, and benefiting from social emotional learning, and the wonderful people I've met, collaborated with, and learned from are all amazing outcomes that inspire me to continue to do whatever I can to help create more smiles, more learning, and improve more lives. I want to thank God. I want to thank my husband, Ali. My 3 healthy and happy children, Kiara, Gianluca, and Alessio. 3. My parents, Ed and Maria. My sister, Cynthia. and her husband Angelo, who's currently in Canada with his family, couldn't be here tonight. Also my brother Joseph, who's in Boston at school right now. And I'm so happy that his girlfriend Tiana is here to join us as well. My father-in-law Alvaro. And I also want to thank my late mother-in-law Ida as well. My sister-in-law Claudia and her husband Steve, who are here tonight. And my sister-in-law Christiana and her family. My many cousins and uncles and aunts, many of whom are here at a couple of these tables tonight. And my many colleagues, mentors, and friends, including a friend of mine named Sylvia who came from Baltimore, Maryland. She's back there, I see you. And all of you for sharing your love, support, and kindness with me and inspiring me to share it with others. I'm truly blessed to know so many compassionate and generous people who are involved in the many wonderful organizations we are fortunate to have in Millbrae. And I look forward to continuing to collaborate and connect with all of you as we make a collective impact on our community and inspire others to build upon the great work we've already started. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Does it really touch your heart when it shows that it's not just the person, but it's also the people who support you that makes you strong and really helps make the community a better place. Okay, last but not least, I've known this guy for quite a while in the Lions Club. I've been in the Lions Club for 10 years now, and this person, he's always been infectious. He's has a lot of energy, and you can tell because his voice goes 5 octaves higher. And then, it's not a roast, I promise you. And then I can't tell you that I don't know where he finds time because he's always selfieing and everything and everybody. So I'm pretty sure that everybody thinks that all of Millbrae is part of his family. So, and I just want to say that it's about time. You have many hats. You worn many hats. You obviously consoled a lot of people, made them feel better, and also that's a tough job. It's a very tough job, and I just think that I think this is about time. So I'm really glad, Paul, that you got Man of the Year. So without that, let's have the video.
Millbrae, when I was growing up, start from the beginning. I was born in Peninsula Hospital. My parents had the Chapel of the Highlands way before I ever came along. So I came along in 1960. They had been building up the Chapel of the Highlands, and we were living in San Bruno, on Parkview Drive when I was little. But because of the chapel, I was always back and forth. Millbrae, Chapel of the Highlands. My dad was focused on being a Millbrae Lion, past president of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of other organizations. Well, that's kind of where I came along, and I ended up doing what I'm doing now, kind of following in his footsteps. Well, when I was growing up, I assumed everybody's father owned a funeral home, which wasn't the case. But it was nice having experiences, and it sounds a little bit odd, regarding a funeral home, but a funeral home is a place where you meet people in the community. You're helping people in the community, and I was doing that from a very, very young age. My dad instilled a sense of responsibility to the families that we serve, and those families over the years have been grateful. They come back to us year after year when the need arises, and they know that we're there to help. And I learned that starting off when I was a kid, learning about the families, communicating with them, and I realized that I was good at that. We ended up building a home in Millbrae, and then when we moved in there, I was embedded in Millbrae after my parents died, and I felt like it was needed that I should follow where my dad left off. Like I said, You know, he was a Millbrae Lion. Shortly after he passed away, I was asked to join the Millbrae Lions Club, and I did. And I joined other things too, Chamber of Commerce, where my dad was, and I felt at that point that it was something that was necessary. After a while, I realized that it wasn't something that was only necessary or something that I should be doing. I really liked it. I liked being part of the community. I liked knowing all of the people that are good to know in the community. I liked having people think of me as being a participant in the community. I knew I was a lion. That's a pretty common term. A lot of our past district governors have brought up the point that you knew that you were a lion when you had kind of a little spark in your head. I realized I was a lion when I discovered that I was following in the footsteps of my dad, but also following in the footsteps of lots of other lions that were his contemporary. People that had been in the Millbrae Lions Club for decades, people that I heard their names when I was growing up. Everybody who's watching this video knows who those lions are. And when I realized that I was doing the same thing that they were, helping the community and participating, helping the Lions Club, etc., that kind of made me realize, you know, this is something good. This is something that is needed, and it made me feel good to be somebody who helps. I have been a past president. I've been chairman of a lot of various events over the years. I'm still chairman of a good number of things that don't necessarily show up in public. A lot of things I do behind the scenes. Like, for instance, I'm currently involved in the Peace Poster Contest, which is an international competition. Starts off at the club level. I've been involved with Taylor Middle School regarding not only the Peace Poster Contest, but we also have an essay contest that we've been doing since the early 1960s. My dad was involved with that, and I helped learn about that project from him. It was an honor to be nominated for Man of the Year, and I wasn't only nominated by the Millbrae Lions Club, which was a very, very big honor, but also the Italian Catholic Federation Branch 403 at St. Dunstan's, which I'm president of, and also the Millbrae Historical Society. And it was just an honor to be nominated. But to actually get this award, I mean, that's icing on the cake. Just the nomination was good enough for me, and I was very, very proud of that. The Italian Catholic Federation at St. Dunstan's, years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, Nadia Holliber, she was a former Millbrae mayor, and we were at an event, and she said, "Paul, there's an organization that we would really like you to be a part of, the Italian Catholic Federation." And I said, "You know, I'm not Italian," but she goes, "It's okay if you're Catholic, that's fine. We need people." So I was there, a lot of nice people were there. They had a lot of good food. And I said, "Sure, I would love to belong to this organization, meet new people," which I like doing. I like meeting new people. And then it got to the point where they had asked me to step up and become a member of the board. And I felt kind of funny because everybody else was Italian. I mean, everybody was Italian. And the president at the time, her name is Carla Del Carlo, very Italian. Her husband Adolfo, both very Italian. And she said to me, she said, "Don't worry about it." And she waved her arms, said some magic words in Italian, and she said, "You are no longer Paul Larson, you are now Paolo Larsoni." So I laughed. I said, "Okay, with that, I'll accept the position." So it was kind of a funny story. I like that, but I was honored. She made me an honorary Italian. So I've been on the board for a long time. I was first vice president for years and years. And then the past year, I stepped up as president, and I'm enjoying it. I like the position. Like I said, there's a lot of good people that you get to meet, and it's good to know all of the people in the community, along with other communities too. So, first vice president, Millbrae Historical Society. I do whatever our president, John Muniz, tells me to do. You know, I have been involved in the Historical Society for a good number of years as a trustee. And we do a lot to promote the history of Millbrae. The history of Millbrae is very interesting. There's a lot of people who have a lot of historical knowledge in their memory who are no longer with us. So that's why we need to continue on, promote everything that has happened in the past. Putting together a schedule and trying to have time to do all of the things that I'm involved in. I mean, there's a lot to do behind the scenes, and I want to try to participate in everything, but it's not easy to do that. But most of the time I'm able to work everything in. People ask me, can you help out on this project? And I just say yes, and I just think later on how to do it. Because people are relying on me. I mean, I want to be responsible, especially when there are people that are counting on me to help them with this or do something with that. There are people that are surrounding me that really help me and make me look good. I mean, these are the people that deserve the credit for doing what needs to be done and backing me up. I really, really appreciate that, and it's something that I'm grateful for. And a lot of these people deserve to be Man and Woman of the Year. Let's put it this way, my outlook might make it seem that everything is very, very smooth, because it's easier to accept things the way they are. It's easy to accept things and just deal with them as they come up instead of, getting upset about things. That doesn't help. And people have told me that too. How are you so positive? It's just easier that way. Negative doesn't really work well for me. So the only other choice is to be positive, and that's what works for me, and I'm able to accomplish a lot that way. Sometimes I think, are people annoyed by it? Which it could be annoying, to some people, especially if somebody's in a bad mood and I come walking up, hi everybody, how are you? I'm positive. But people do ask me that, and I just tell them that's just me. And you know what? It helps, going back to the chapel. People say, we have had such a positive experience with the death that just occurred, our family member that passed away. And because you had such a positive outlook, you were very, very friendly, you were very, very helpful, it was comforting to us. And I'm just being myself. It's just common courtesy. But positive outlook just makes things easier to deal with. Be there for each other. Making the community a better place and being a part of the community and being there for each other. Neighbors helping neighbors. And people helping people, that will help the environment, that will help our planet, that will help the future. So just loving each other, helping each other, I think that's the key.
Thank you, Mayor Wayne. Before I start, and I didn't realize that it appeared to be one big run-on sentence. It seemed like it was just going. So I apologize for that. But first thing I want to do is congratulate our student of the year, who is very involved, and her family. And I want to also thank our bubbly cheerleader, Karen, who is right over here, and she was very calm tonight. She usually has a very, very animated and active vocal outlook. And every time that you come to our Lions meetings, and she's always asking for some sort of donation. And she always gets it. So whatever you're doing the right thing. So congratulations to you, your family, and everybody here is for you. So congratulations. Now, I'm not going to give a speech, but no, don't say ah. We'll be here all night otherwise. But what I am going to do, what I do want to do, is say thank you. Oh, one thing, going back to Karen. When you were looking on this screen, you saw a picture of her wearing a baseball jersey that said Chapel of the Highlands on it. How many of you saw that? Did everybody see that? Well, thank you so much, Karen, for the free advertising. So I did write some thank yous. I wanted to make sure that I just wrote something down, made sure that I didn't forget anybody. But what I want to do, number one, I want to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce and the Man, Woman, and Student of the Year Committee, because you guys do a lot of hard work, and that hard work goes on for a year. I know that John Muniz, a lot of the work involved kind of fell on him because everybody else during the year was out of town. So John, he was doing a lot of hard work. Thank you so much. What? Thank you so much. And again, oh, hi, Eric. But I was waiting to come up here because I wanted to say hello to everybody. I mean, I can see all of your faces. It's easier to be right here and look at everybody. So I really, really want to thank all of you for being here. Everybody here, you are all my friends, my family. Everybody who is here tonight, you're all wonderful. And a lot of the people in this room, you deserve to be Man and Woman of the Year, because there are a lot of people, and you know who I'm talking about because I've told you that before. This very fact that there are people in this room who do so much for the community, do so much to help people around them, help me, etc., and they don't want the position. They are very, very happy to be behind the scenes, doing things that help everybody else. So for those people, please, everybody give those people a big round of applause, and you know who they are. Very quickly, I just want to thank Tom and Faye Dottie for the beautiful picture of each of the nominees. They came out beautiful, and this is very, very impressive. So if you ever want your picture taken, go to Tom and Faye Dottie, and they'll make you look beautiful. And also, Ann Simmons, where is she? Where? Oh, there you are. Yeah, you know, congratulations on making these videos, because I know you did a lot of editing and you did a lot of work. So congratulations on Ann and her crew at MCTV. You did a great job. I also want to thank my late parents. They're no longer with us, but a lot of you in this room knew them very, very well. And I keep hearing this. I keep hearing that, Paul, your parents would be proud of you. They missed the time when I started going up the ladder. So they did not know any of this, anything that I'm doing right now. They're probably somewhere watching, but I know, but it would be nice to have, you know, verbal feedback. But at the same time, there's nothing that I can do about that. But okay, well. And along Rob, my family, friends, chapel crew, I mean, like I was saying in this video, thank you. Everything that you guys do, everything that you do for me, just being there for me, I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So, I mean, thank you so much. There's that old story about that movie star that went up in the 1920s for the Academy Awards, and she said, thanks to all the little people. I'm going, oh my God, that's not a good, I don't want that to be what comes out of this. But anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you've already stood up, and I know you don't want to stand up again, so. Yeah. Oh. Very important. There are a lot of members of the Millbrae Lions Club here tonight. I'd like our president, Rob Ducote, to please stand and be acknowledged. Yeah, thanks to the Millbrae Lions Club. Millbrae Lions Club is an amazing organization, and we keep getting all of these new members, and I'm very, very impressed by that. Calvin, you've been bringing in a lot of members just on your own, so, you know, oh, he's covering his face with a napkin. Why are you doing that? And also, Millbrae Historical Society right here. Millbrae Historical Society is an amazing organization. I mean, we have 3 museums. We have the museum Well, yeah, the main museum, the Millbrae Historical Museum, the Carriage House, and all. Southern Pacific Railroad Museum, but I'm not supposed to refer to it by that, but the Train Museum, which is right down along the train tracks, and there's a lot of exciting things going on there. So Millbrae Historical Society, thank you. You know, I mentioned in this video that the Italian Catholic Federation, Branch 403, and also not only the branches, but the entire Italian Catholic Federation altogether. I mean, you guys are an amazing family of members. And I apologize for not being an official Italian, but Carla made me an honorary Italian. So with that, my name is Paolo Larsoni. Thanks. Oh, and I'm president of Branch 403. So it's an honor. And I'm very, very... And let's please acknowledge Reuben and Richard's mom and late wife, Nadia. Where are you guys? You're outside somewhere. But please, everybody please applaud for the late Nadia Hollaber, our former... There was a mention in the video of Native Sons of the Golden West. That is an organization for people who, well, mostly men, they have a women's part of it too, who were born in California. And there's several of you who are not only Lions and other members, but you're also members of Native Sons of the Golden West. So, and George Habib at 102, just 2 years ago, he was president of Native Sons of the Golden West. So George, congratulations, happy birthday. It's an honor that you're here celebrating your birthday tonight with everybody here. So happy birthday again, George. And again, for those past men, women, and students of the year, not necessarily students because that's only a couple of years old, but there's a lot of members. And there's a lot of people who would have been here tonight who are no longer with us. And it would be nice for us to remember them. Thanks to all of those who came before us, because all of the people that came before us should be remembered and honored because we wouldn't all be here if it wasn't for... Anyway, thank you to all of the current men, women, students of the year. I wasn't going to make a speech, and I'm not. This is not a speech. Almost done, almost done. Oh, I was talking to Carmen earlier, Carmen DeGuara. She said she made biscotti for everybody here tonight. So, Carmen, thank you. Stand up and wave to everybody. Thank you for the biscotti. And with that, I just want to make sure that everybody drives home safely. I know there's been a lot to drink. Joe, thank you so much for all of the things that you've been doing. And I hand the microphone back to you. Thank you.
Hey, there we go. All right. Unfortunately, we've gone rather late here, so we're going to expedite this next part of the program. But I'd like to call all three honorees up to the stage. So, Paul, you got to come back up. Karen, please come up. Derek, please come up to represent your sister. What's going to happen now is there are going to be commendations from various entities, and I want representatives to come up and very quickly hand these out. Wayne, will you help me out? And so first, I need someone from the school board to come up to give out the school board commendation. Secondly, we need someone from the city council. Who's going to represent the city council? All right. So let me get out of the way. Yeah, go up and sit. There you go. Following the school board and the city council, we'd like to have Randy and Elmer come up to give out the commendations from our state legislators. And then who's going to give out we have some commendations from Jackie Spear. Okay, Randy and Elmer are giving out the accommodations from our state assembly and state senator's office, Dave Pine and Jerry Hill. All right, and we also, as I said, we also have some accommodations from our Congresswoman Jackie Spear. You're gonna go home. Hope you have a lot of wall space at home. You have a lot of bling to take home with you tonight. And then lastly, we have the accommodations from the City Council and the actual, doesn't have a nickname. We'll have to come up for a nickname for the statues, but it's the Man, Woman, and Student of the Year Crystal Award. Maybe someone could come up and take some of the stuff off their hands, or they're getting a little full there. No, there's no time, sorry. Yeah. Thanks. All right, let's try to make this next rousing applause so loud that Desiree in Riverside can hear us. 1, 2, 3. Paul Larson, Karen Bettucchi, and Desiree Lin. Congratulations. All right. Well, thank you all again. Oh, okay, that's okay. Oh. A few more pictures. All right. Thank you all. Take one more bow and return to your places. I'd like to thank each and every one of you again for attending this evening's awards dinner. It's been a wonderful opportunity to honor those of us in the community that make it a special place. We do have to make a few special thank yous. First of all, to Nancy Montez for the lovely table decorations. And again, remind everyone that the men and women of the year from the past, there's a cards with their names on them for you to take one of those home with you tonight. Also, to Robert Gottschalk, who is a member of the club, who's able to sponsor us so that we're able to hold this event here at the Green Hills Country Club. Thank you, Robert. I'd like to thank Sarah, Ann, Alex, and Johnson from MCTV. They've videotaped this entire thing, and if you want to relive this experience, please remember that in a few weeks this will be showing on MCTV, as well as online at mctv.tv and on YouTube. So there'll be the full video of the full night's events that you can watch and relive and enjoy once again. Thanks again to Tom Dottie for taking the portraits of our honorees, and to the Green Hills Country Club staff for the wonderful service and dinner that they provided us tonight. Let's hear it for them. Thank you. Lastly, there's a list of folks that have made financial contributions that I want to acknowledge real quickly for this event. Ann and Jean Kirkbride, Chapel of the Highlands, Dino De Ranieri, Gaetan Andrews, St. Dunstan Italian Catholic Federation Branch 403, the Millbrae Historical Society, the Millbrae Lions Club, the Rotary Club of Millbrae, South San Francisco Scavenger, and one group that was omitted accidentally is Associated Window Cleaning. So thanks to all of them for their contributions. I wish you all well, hope you had a great time, and see you next year at the Fall Classic Millbrae Man, Woman, and Student of the Year dinner.